Meditation and Spiritual Life, Swami Yatiswarananda. Change in the conception of God in ancient India. In our study of the Hindu scriptures, we come across various conceptions of the Godhead. Some devotees speak of Him as possessing both divine forms and attributes. They want to establish a personal relationship with Him. Others speak of Him as being endowed with infinite power and knowledge and other qualities and think that, though formless, He assumes various forms. So, one is the God possess a divine form and has various attributes. The other one thinks it is formless but assumes forms for the devotee. While they take note of the personal aspect, they particularly stress the impersonal, the formless aspect of which the former is a manifestation. During the early stages of their spiritual life, most devotees cannot help associating human forms and sentiments with the divine, and as the sadhana increases, many things becomes clear. What happens? And initially what happens? The devotee wants to attribute human forms and sentiments to the divine and think of him as outside of themselves, separate entity. Sometimes we find that as the result of the self purification brought about by sincere devotion, the devotee gets a vision within himself of the same divine being, but momentarily, sometimes. He has been so long worshipping as an outside object. Then he realizes for the first time him as an indwelling spirit, but then it always goes away as the ear of ear, the mind of mind. So, a sakshi of the entire body mind complex, as if the ear of ear, mind of mind, life of life. Where is it recorded? In Kena Upanishad 1.2. Next, he finds himself to be the one deity who is in the life. Next, he finds him, the divine God, to be the one deity who is in the fire, who is in the water, who is in the plants, who is in the trees, who pervades the whole universe, who has become the woman, the man, the youth, the maiden, the old man leaning on his staff, and is born in manifold forms. Another state of realization, Shvetashvatara Upanishad. To him, God is now the principle, the substratum, as if the base, the principle, foundation, immanent in all beings and things. He is not merely the God of gods, but is also the true self of all, the life universal. So, from duality, the mind is proceeding towards unified unity. Proceeding further, the seer realizes him as the transcendental entity beyond speech and thought, who is invisible, devoid of all connotations, unthinkable, indefinable, essentially of the nature of the consciousness constituting the self alone, pure consciousness which is not colored, touched by anything objective. So the mind from outside, as it turns inward, 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 from the object it comes to the subject and turns further deep inside. It comes away from the multi and comes to the uni. So, pure consciousness, that is what the realization happens. The peaceful, the supreme bliss, and the non dual Advaita. And where is this realization recorded by the rishis, the seer? Number 13, that is Mandukya Upanishad. So, Upanishads are realizations of the Vedic rishis, rishi, seer, drashta, mantra drashta. The Vedic rishis worshipped Indra, the thunderer and the giver of rains. Mitra, the god who regulates the course of the sun. Varuna, the god who dwells in the bright blue sky and releases the penitent from sin. The Agni, the god of fire, sometimes spoken of as father and also as brother, kinsman, and friend. Savitur, the solar deity who stimulates life and activity in the world, was invoked in order to guide the understanding of the devotees. Rigveda, both. It is a very striking fact that even in that early stage of spiritual consciousness, some of the Vedic seers could recognize the presence of an indwelling spirit behind each and every natural phenomena. And behind their apparently polytheism, Varuna, Indra, Agni, so many deities, polytheistic conceptions, there lay an ingrained monotheism. Multitude, in that there is single, monotheism, that was clearly expressed as each god was invoked and worshipped in turn as omnipotent, omniscient, and even omnipresent. Varuna is a deity of a particular area, but that deity is also the highest, as if omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. So Ganesha is a particular deity, but that Ganesha is itself the highest Brahman, as if. So that's the trait of this Vedika Dharma. To where is it? And behind their apparently polytheistic conceptions, there lay an ingrained nature, ingrained monotheism. That was clearly expressed as each god was invoked and worshipped in turn as omnipotent, omniscient, and even omnipresent. This is made clear in the well-known hymns that declare, to what is one, sages give many a name. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. They call him Agni, Yama, Matriswan. Okay. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadantyagnim yamam matarishwana ahu. After the period of the Rig Veda, a revolution took place in Hinduism, especially with regard to the symbols and names associated with worship and prayers. Names that were once of minor importance came to be prominent in later times, and new names were also added to the pantheon, array of gods and goddesses, pantheon. The worship of Shiva, Vishnu, and Devi, and of incarnations like Rama and Krishna became popular in later times. But in the midst of these striking changes, the Hindu devotee's conception of the supreme deity, his highest spiritual hopes and aspirations, his desire to seek divine aid and guidance, and his yearning for spiritual communion have remained unchanged. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti agnim yamam matarishwanam ahu. So this has remained constant. With the march of time, it has been recognized with greater clearness that the impersonal principle, ekam, impersonal principle, that Sat, uh, that impersonal principle forms the background of all personal aspects of God. From that ekam, all these personal different conceptions have arisen, and in the source of all divine personalities worship through various and is the source of all divine personalities worshipped through various symbols. Indeed, according to Advaita Vedanta, whatever be the symbol one may adopt or the personality one may adore to begin with, the highest goal as we move on, the highest goal of spiritual life lies in the ultimate experience of the impersonal, the one without a second, in which the worshipper is merged into and becomes one with the infinite. In that highest experience, all distinctness between man and God and between God and the world vanishes. The one without a second alone remains.